and welcome back to another video. So today we're back here for another speed build, and today we're going to go ahead and create this underwater tiny home village. So if you'd like to go ahead and download this for yourself, it is up on the gallery now. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1. So this is another underwater build. I did used to do quite a lot of these. It has been a while since the last one. And I had this idea that just came up the other day. I did talk about it slightly in my last speed build, and I was actually going to be finished with tiny living videos now, but then this idea came up and I was like, I've just got to do this, so that's what we're doing today. So it's not like a village in terms of like, it has like the village shop and all that. It's more just like multiple homes on one lot type of builds, which I've also done a few of before, but I haven't combined the underwater theme and the multiple homes on one lot theme together, so that's what we're doing here. So in total, there are 5 tiny homes, and I didn't actually class this as a tiny home residential because, you know, there's multiple homes, so it comes more than the 3-tiered one. So I don't really know what each home would be classed as. Probably a small home, tier 3, I would imagine. And then you could use the roommate system from Discovery University to make this work like with actual separate people if you want to try and do that. But you know, these type of builds aren't the most functional things, but they are quite fun to do, so that's what we're doing today. And as I don't know if I just said, but there are 5 homes, and each of them have 1 bedroom and 1 bathroom. Some of them are like quite small, that they have like all the living space and bedroom space in one, like a studio style tiny home, but some of them also have a separate one. So in terms of other details about this build, it's built on a 40 by 30 lot in Sony on the grass lot, and I did actually start it off in Newcrest, as you would have saw, but I'll explain why I moved it to Sony in a second. And it came in at 200,247 simoleons, and for the packs used today, there are, you know, quite a few. I didn't want to restrict myself too much today since this isn't like a regular speed build. So for the expansions, I used Island Living, Get Famous, Seasons, City Living and Get Together, and for the game packs, I used Jungle Adventure, Parenthood, Dynamite and Spa Day, and for the stuff packs, I just used Tiny Living. Now for Parenthood, all I used from that was a fridge, so if you don't have Parenthood, that isn't going to make any difference to the build. It's just one item I use from Parenthood. So as I was just saying about moving it to Sony, I think we're all still in Newcrest right now, and I just kind of thought that it was, well, to begin with, I did want to go for like, not like an ultra modern theme, but a fairly modern theme, slightly updated looking, and because of that I thought Newcrest would be a good world. But I do think that adding it to in Sony, I could still go for like a modern style theme. I have done a few modern builds in Sony before, but also add a lot more into the whole aesthetic of the exterior, because I was able to put a load more plants in it and stuff. And it just looks a lot more interesting this way, so that's why I moved it over to Sony. It still has the original theme I had in mind, which I think is quite interesting, because, you know, there's kind of 2 themes you can go for with Sony. It's a very kind of traditional tropical look for the furniture, or you can go for a modern theme as well, so that's what I did today. So I really do love the landscaping with this build. I did also use a few debug plants as well. Some of them were a little bit different than what you actually get with Island Living, but I did use all Island Living plants. There might be 1 or 2 plants from base game in there as well, and I also used the rocks from the debug menu of Island Living as well, just again to add a little bit more interest to how the place looks. And yeah, so in terms of the interior, I didn't do like really personalized homes, as you know, that isn't something I do a lot anyways, but there are kind of, you know, differences between you go to each of the homes. You know, you might look at one of the homes and kind of imagine a particular sim living in one compared to another one. So that's kind of what I did, but I didn't make them like really specific for any type of sim really, so it's kind of up to you what you decide to do with this build. Also, since some people have been wondering about when I'm going to be doing the next build challenge and giveaway, just in case you don't know, I did do one a few weeks ago, and it was like a shell build challenge, but the online gallery wasn't then available for the console, so that meant that console players couldn't participate in that challenge, and I did say I'm going to be doing another one so everybody can participate in it, since now the gallery is now available on console. So I'm probably going to be doing it sometime during February. It is my birthday on the 27th of February, so maybe I'll do it during that week. So I'm still kind of planning it out. I do have the idea of what I'm going to do for the build challenge. I just don't know exactly when. So yeah, we'll just have to wait and see about that. But it is, you know, it will be coming eventually. So we're just working on the first interior of this home here. This one does have a purple theme to it. It's not completely purple though. It's just the walls. Just add a bit of colour in. And like I was saying before, each of the homes are a different colour, so they're not like, you know, rainbow colours or anything. They are just slightly different as the build goes on. And this one is one of the smaller homes. This one has everything like in one room, obviously apart from the bathroom. So there is the Murphy bed there. I think I did do another little living room section, also dining room section, a study, and also the kitchen. So that's actually quite a lot to fit into this space actually, so I'm glad I managed to do that. It was quite you know, a challenge to get everything in, but I did manage to make it work in the end. And this build in total only took me about an hour and 10 or 20 minutes to do, so not too long, but you know, it is just tiny homes, so that's why it didn't take too long to do the finishing especially. And what else I was going to say? Oh, there is kind of like a hallway area, which I wasn't really too sure what to do with. It is a very kind of weird space, so I kind of imagine that's kind of the communal area. Imagine like an apartment complex, and that's where the Sims walk through to their doors, and they have like one of the bin chutes in the mail box on the next to the doors. So I did that, but it just seems like a little bit of a weird space. It's kind of very nicely furnished for a hallway, if that makes sense. You may see what I mean later once we get onto it, but yeah, I didn't really know what to do with it, but I made it work in the end. And most of the rooms in this build do have skylights, so the hallway has a really long one, and then kind of like the main living space of each of the homes has a skylight as well. And you may have seen me do that at the beginning. I know I have done a lot of underwater homes before, and I don't know if you would like to see like a tutorial on how to do that. It's something I've been planning for a while, so hopefully I'll do it soon before anybody steals my idea. So yeah, I might do that soon if that's something you want to see, because I do think they're quite an interesting idea. And the bathrooms I did change up as I went on. Some of them do have pretty much the same bathroom, but I did change up colours as I went, with the wall tiles, for example. But you know, I always say that bathrooms are quite a boring room to do in builds, I find, so I don't think I'll show you all of them today. So we're just working on this hallway area. I do like how it turned out. I was kind of worried how I was going to actually make it work to begin with, but I kind of just broke up the space a bit with plants and divider walls and console tables, and it made it work in the end. And then I did end up going using those apartment bin chutes and the mailboxes on the wall. I didn't actually know if those would be functional as a normal mailbox, but actually they are, so I'm glad about that. I was actually worried to begin with that those were just items like specific with apartments or something, and Sam I showing you couldn't use them anywhere else, but I'm glad they do work here, which is great. And it kind of adds on to the theme, you know, of this being separate homes as well. So you could, you know, use the roommate feature if you want with this build, like I said earlier. So we're just working on another home here. As you can see, a slightly different colour scheme with this one, and this actually does have a separate bedroom. So I think in total 3 of them are kind of all open, and then there's 2 of them which have their own separate bedroom. That might be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what I did. Can't exactly remember. But this one has a really small kitchen space, as you can see here. And also, I don't even think, maybe it's just one kitchen in one of the homes has their own sink for the kitchen. All the others have to use the bathroom sink, which I think is a common thing with tiny homes. It's not the most convenient thing, I don't think, but with the Sims I don't really think it matters. I wouldn't really want that in real life, but you know, it's just the Sims, so that's what I just had to do for the space. And also with the bins there, the indoor bins, I think one of the homes I didn't manage to fit an indoor bin in, which is a little bit of a shame, but there are outdoor bins, and also there is loads of other bins around the lot as well, so that kind of makes up for that. So as I said earlier, I wasn't going to be doing any more tiny living videos, but if you do have any more ideas you'd like to see, then let me know, as I did go back to kind of my normal speed builds on Thursday, so if you do want to see any more, then let me know. I've kind of done all the ideas that I feel like, and sometimes, you know, if I do ask for ideas, I'm not going to kind of guarantee that I'm going to do that idea, because I always add every idea I get to a list, but when it comes to actually building, I might not always want to do that idea in the moment, if that makes sense. So you know, if you don't see an idea, then that might be why, but I do add everything down to see and kind of find what I want to do out of those. So this home here is probably one of my favourites in terms of the interior. It has a very nice modern clean theme to it, but it is a little bit different than my usual ones in some areas, so I do really love how this one turned out. Again, it's more of a studio style one, because everything is in the one space, but I think I managed to make it work, because sometimes, you know, having the bed like right next to the kitchen doesn't always look that right, but I think with this home here, it did look okay. The only thing is with this particular home is that the living room section was quite small, but you know, it is a tiny home after all, so I think you'd be expecting that. You don't need loads and loads of seats because it's only really a tiny home after all, so you couldn't really fit that many seats in anyway. And this one does have the kitchen with the sink in it, I think, which was a nice addition. And then just using a divider wall there just to kind of separate the space off a little bit, but that one's from Dine Out with the big circle in the middle, like the cutout, so it kind of made it feel a little bit open at the same time, which was nice for a space like this. And one thing I kept doing whilst I went on is, because I should have done this to begin with, but I didn't put the windows in at the beginning of the build. I kind of just added them in as I went, which meant in some homes I kind of nearly forgot the windows, which is a little bit annoying because I do the furnishing and then realise, oh, there's no windows, so got to add those in. I suppose it doesn't really matter since it is like actually a basement, but I just thought it's kind of nice for it being underwater. You might want to have windows to look out at all the, because it is actually landscaping within the pool as well, as you can kind of see. Not as nice as the ones, you know, above ground, but you know, there is a little bit there to look out on. So this speed build today is actually on the longer side. I don't normally do you know, speed builds that long. I try to cut them off like before 15 minutes. I feel like that's a good length for me personally. So this one is just one little exception. So I'm actually going to go ahead and wrap the voiceover up now though. I know I don't like really to do this too often, finishing up the voiceover too early, but we've only got a few minutes left before we then head on to the screenshots. So I really hope you enjoyed. In the comment section down below, let me know about what you thought of it. If you have any more suggestions, like I said, that you want to see next on the channel or with Tiny Living, then let me know. This is up on the gallery now. My origin ID is RealThomasTV1, and there will also be a link in the description to the online gallery if you want to go ahead and download the build that way. So thanks for watching, leave a like, share and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!